In today's episode, the 1960 Ford Thunderbird. Hello and welcome to Quarterlight, your car brochure channel where we look at car brochures from the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s and sometimes beyond those dates as well. So if that might interest you, maybe watch a bit of the episode and then consider subscribing, which is incidentally all completely free. Anyway, this particular episode was first aired on a Friday. Friday episodes we called Ford Fridays. Many different makes and models during the week. So, no exception, we picked an American brochure today, the 1960 Ford Thunderbird. So let's throw that on the board and have a look at it. So here is today's brochure, and don't worry, we will zoom in a better look at the car in a moment. The top heading there simply saying the 60 Ford Thunderbird, world's most wanted car, in a typical sort of American fashion of thinking, you know, America is the centre of the universe. No offence to anybody who's watching from the US, but yes, obviously not the world's most wanted car, because certainly in the UK you won't be able to find one of these, and I'm sure in Europe not that desirable, but certainly a fantastic looking car is the Thunderbird at this stage. So it's saying the 60 Thunderbird, as in the 1960. The date of the brochure itself though is 8/59, so August 1959. So this would be the second generation of the Ford Thunderbird. Production years was from December 1957 to 1960, and model years from 1958 to 1960. So this is a 1960 model year, so right at the very end of the second generation. I always think with the Thunderbird as a whole, not particularly picking out any particular model, but it kind of like got a little bit, I don't know, looks wise at least, less desirable the later on in production that they was using the Thunderbird name. Quite a striking car at this time, and certainly reminds me very much of sort of like this sort of American sort of space age, imagining the space age sort of designs really for the Thunderbird. That's what I always think when I see these. So like I said, this 1960 model year brochure is going to be right at the end of the production for the second generation, where they made a few little changes which we might be able to see here. So just moving the camera back again, like we see in many of the car brochures at this time, it doesn't open normally like you would imagine like a book opening. It opens more in sort of a poster style, very much of a 60s way to do things, not only in Europe but obviously in the US as well. So it opens normally, then we'll find that it opens into, if I can do it one-handed, into sort of like a big poster style, but we'll have a look at that in a moment. We'll take it from here first though. At the side here it's telling us the 60 Ford Thunderbird, the only car of its charm in the world. Unusual sort of paragraph, the only car of its charm in the world. Striking front end though, isn't it? That's quite something, as you did find in the sort of higher end cars of the 60s in the US. Now I'm not a US car expert, so apologies. I'm really just going to look through the brochures, pick some key points, probably point out a few things I know, but like I said, no expert in North American cars, even though I live in North America now. Certainly when I was growing up, you would not have seen one of these, and for me cars are all about the memories, so I don't particularly have any sort of memories apart from watching 60s American movies. But anyway, we'll have a look at the text, then we'll come back to this fantastic image. Text wise is very 60s, very unusually worded actually. It starts by saying, just say Thunderbird. The very name evokes an image of glamour and spirit and distinction. This beautiful car comes by its beauty naturally. You won't find another car with lines so clean, so unaffected, so smart. Nor can any other car approach the Thunderbird for performance, because no other car combines Thunderbird's compact size and handling agility with Thunderbird's mighty power. No wonder the 4-passenger Thunderbird is such a historic success. And of course, when we're talking about a compact size, that's certainly an unusual thing to say, certainly from European eyes. It's a pretty big car, to be honest with you. If I just move the camera down, if you don't mind, the bottom here, it's got a little bit of a note here saying, 1959 Ford Motor Company, Dearborn Mitch. Let's have a look at the image. So fantastic glamorous images here, kind of like reminds me of the movies, of course. You did find most brochures in Europe this time, they tended to draw the cars rather than take pictures, but this does look like an image. That grille and front bumper section certainly looks something, doesn't it? Not much protection though from that bumper, I would suggest. And then down the side we can just about make out the rear fins. But anyway, let's have a look inside the brochure itself. So when I open the brochure out properly, you really get an appreciation for the actual size of this brochure. If I just like throw in, that's a 30cm ruler. It is a big sheet of paper, isn't it? So we're going to have to look at this by section, and there is some really nice images and an idea of some of the different colours you could get your Thunderbird in. I'm going to start over here, I think, in this sort of centre section, and then perhaps we'll treat this first picture and this text down here and kind of like work our way around. See what makes more sense anyway, but let's start at the top. I think that makes logical sense. So at the top here it tells us Thunderbird, one of the all-time great automotive classics. In every generation there is one car that stands out above all others as the ultimate in glamour and excitement and prestige. In 1960 that car is beyond question the new Ford Thunderbird. The classic beauty of this unique car and its incomparable performance make it the world's most wanted, most admired, most successful car. You'll find no counterpart for the Thunderbird on any road anywhere. No other car combines Thunderbird's compact size, elegant comfort and spectacular performance. No other car has Thunderbird's purity of line, and no other car certainly has Thunderbird's love of life personality. And yet you'll find the 1960 Thunderbird costs less, far less than any other luxury car. And then to one side of that sort of main sort of paragraph to read there, we do have the rear of the 1960 Ford Thunderbird. It tells us the brilliant new Thunderbird hardtop. We'll read this text and I think we'll come back to this nice image actually. And for such a huge page, it's actually very tiny writing. It says, every line is a line of distinction. Thunderbird's smartness and individuality make it the choice of people who have unlimited choice. It has influenced many of the people who formerly drove big luxury cars to forget their past loyalties. They are now proud owners of Thunderbirds, for Thunderbird alone among the world's luxury cars gives you sports car roadability and luxury car comfort. And this is why the Thunderbird looks as exciting as a racer, and at the same time seats 4 people so elegantly that each one enjoys the spacious, deep down comfort found in a limousine. So it's really trying to appeal to everyone here. And here it is in the city, possibly New York City, I'm not sure. Hard to tell if this is actually a picture or not. Actually, it almost looks like it is a drawing, but if it was a drawing, it would be an extremely good drawing. Maybe it's a photograph and they've touched it up. Something doesn't look quite right. Number plate quite simply saying 1960 in that little section. I will note though, the 1960 models being the last year, they actually changed the rear lights. Previous to this, we just had sort of like the outside light and the inside light. Now we've got this middle light as well, which you've added on there, and I guess the space was there, so why not? Moving down, it moves from that lovely hardtop to this fantastic convertible driving past the pool, quite strangely. We'll read the text again and then we'll come back to the image. It tells us, unique in all the world for drama and excitement. Fully automatic, the top disappears completely without getting out of the car, without leaving the driver's seat. You just touch the magic control and behold, the power operated rear deck lid rises. The fully retractable soft top folds and vanishes in seconds into the spacious trunk. And the rear deck lid closes, all automatically. To all appearances, this brilliant convertible has no top, not even a hint of a top, nothing to interrupt the long, clean sweep of Thunderbird beauty. There's just you and the sun and fun in the only convertible of its kind in the world. And there it is, in all of the red with that roof lowered. It certainly looks quite an elegant design. I'm sure if you was a kid at this time and you saw these wonderful images for the Ford Thunderbird, you would certainly dreamt of owning one. There is something about the looks, that's for sure. Just moving back again, difficult to know where to go next really. Do we go here? I guess we'll finish off this first section. Hopefully it makes sense by just going down this way and then coming back, and then we'll probably do this centre section and then come down the edge, I think. See how it goes. Hopefully it makes sense. So the bottom here, it says the 60 Ford Thunderbird, the only car of its style in the world. So let's read this. This is probably the wordiest section, but let's go through it. It tells us, inside and out, the 1960 Thunderbird has a pulse-quickening sports car personality. With its beautiful compact body, it looks as swift and fiery as any Sebring Sprinter. The imposing instrument panel of ribbed die casting in gleaming satin chrome enhances the T-Bird's sports car character. At the same time, your Thunderbird brings you limousine comfort and luxury. And not even the biggest, costliest limousine can boast the panel console that extends from the T-Bird's instrument panel and serves the convenience of driver and all passengers. Through Thunderbird's wide doors, fully 4 feet wide, you slip easily into individual seats, individually contoured with formed foam, rubber in the cushions and backs. Each is as wide and deep and soft as any seat in your home. Moreover, the back of the front passenger seat folds all the way down. This makes entrance even easier. Trunk space? The T-Bird trunk is actually 5 feet 5 inches wide. That gives you more than 20 cubic feet of space. And this year, you have a choice of no less than 15 interior colour combinations featuring rich Morocco grain vinyl, nylon, cord or even leather shown at right. So I'll come back to that. It's going to be a later image, or maybe we might do that one first, we'll see. And you get all this as standard on the 1960 Thunderbird. Thick padded lifeguard safety instrument panel, fully cushioned lifeguard sun visors and deep centre lifeguard steering wheel, self-regulating electric clock, day-night type rear view safety mirror, handsome Thunderbird front fender ornaments, individually adjustable driver's seat and front passenger seat. In every way, this magnificent 1960 Thunderbird is a unique automotive achievement. So yeah, since it has mentioned this picture here to the right of this lower section, in essence the bottom right hand side of the brochure, we get this image. So these are the leather seats. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? And certainly it mentions the console sort of like swooping all the way back. But of course that does really make it a 4-seat. I think you'd struggle to get 5 in there just because of the design of it. You also see how vast those doors are and how far back they go. So you could open the door and quite simply easily walk in there. So yeah, an unusual design. No sort of sight of any sort of head restraints or that type of safety gear there though. Anyway, let's move on. So right at the very top right hand corner here, we can have a look at the side view of the Thunderbird. Also gives us a glimpse of another colour combination. This again looks like, I presume it's the convertible version. There isn't really any image of the convertible version, so I presume that's not just a hardtop. But anyway, certainly gives you another idea of a different colour combination. The text there tells us Thunderbird owners are perfectionists. They have in their T-Birds the world's most admired car and a spectacular performer. The car everyone would love to own. Then I'm going to move to the centre section and then we'll go right, and that kind of like concludes this huge sheet. So let's just read the top. It tells you you can't know what performance is until you drive a Thunderbird. Let's look at the text. It might give us some nice interesting figures. Here it starts talking about options and accessories. It tells us 2 great engines make the name Thunderbird and magnificent performance mean one and the same thing. The highly responsive standard 300 horsepower Thunderbird 352 Special V8 and the even more impressive optional 350 horsepower Thunderbird 430 Special V8 both give you the split-second surge of power and the intuitive eagerness that even the sportiest sports car might well envy. And it goes without saying, Thunderbird's ease of handling, cornering, climbing, parking, every aspect of T-Bird performance is simply spectacular. Significant too is the fact that the Thunderbird delivers power where it counts, for extra safe passing in normal speed ranges, and Thunderbird's automatic ride control smooths out even rough country roads in a way you must experience to believe. And then we get a little bit of a drawing of the engine and gearbox. It says, performs like a T-Bird is the highest praise you can give any car. Optional 350 horsepower Thunderbird 430 Special V8 shown is the mighty heart of the 1960 Thunderbird. This sensational power plant in a car as compact as the Thunderbird results in performance and agility unmatched on the American road. Standard 300 horsepower Thunderbird 352 Special V8 is the triumphant achievement of Ford, the world's most experienced builders of V8s. Then we move on to the Thunderbird options and accessories. To add an extra measure of comfort and pleasure, we present options and accessories noteworthy for the fact that they are beautifully functional. They are practical. Each one contributes measurably to the satisfaction of driving a Thunderbird. Each one adds a brilliant personal touch and greater luxury to the car everyone would love to own. And then we've got some rather delightful little images here. It looks like we've got a very large sunroof in the hardtop version and another look at rather nice interior trim colour that could be had there. And then there's a very striking looking Thunderbird in pink with this sort of extra area now used up for sort of a spur wheel carrier, which I guess would increase space in the trunk. It describes this as sliding sunroof leaves you wide open to the sky when you want it, weatherproof when you need it. This sliding all steel panel makes even hot weather driving a pleasure. For the open air roof allows free circulation of air. In winter, opening the roof part way improves the heat effectiveness and gives you the added comfort of fresh, constantly changing air. The sunroof gives you all the advantages of a closed car plus the open air feel of a convertible. Other options available, so we can have power lift windows, magic air heater, select air conditioner, aquamatic windshield washer wiper, adjust O-ring full view mirror, visored full view mirror, visored spotlight with mirror backup lights, fender shields, some rear wheel covers, sport spare wheel carrier, locking gas cap, Ford seat belts, front fender aerial or antenna, deluxe rear deck antenna, 65 and 70 amp hour batteries, glove box with luggage lights, glove box and luggage lights, and eye rest tinted safety glass. So quite a few options you could add on there, but considering it's always talking about this being a luxury car, the fact that you didn't get a heater even in there is a reminder of that this is 1960, of course. Moving up, it shows a few of the features by the looks of it. So Master Glide power steering does 85% of the work for you, makes your T-Bird a pleasure to steer, to park, and a snap to handle. Swift Sure power brakes gives you the easy, safe way to stop. They take up to 45% less effort, make your driving that much more relaxing. Thunderbird power seat moves as you like it at the touch of a button, provides infinite driver's seat positions and synchronized tilting back. Center console radio. Center console radio is dual transistor powered for outstanding tonal quality. Superior speaker is located in console for the finest reception, and then there is our little radio that we can have. So that takes us to the end of the main parts of the brochure, but when I fold all the brochure back, the only thing we haven't seen is this very back page where it starts talking about the Thunderbird colours and the specifications. Tiny writing, so hopefully we'll be able to read that, but let's have a look at the colours. Shame there's not a colour chart, but let's see what it's got to say. So it tells us there are 19 rich single colours for the 1960 Thunderbird exterior, 15 harmonising interior trims, 3 distinctive convertible top colours, and no less than 56 two-tone hardtop combinations. So I wish they still did this today. What we got? Maybe a few shades of grey we can get on our cars. So much nicer at this time when you had a proper colour choice, wasn't it? It goes on to tell us this is the beautiful, luxurious choice of colour that the new Thunderbird offers you. And each colour is in the new diamond lustre finish, the brightest gloss, hardest finish ever developed. It's so durable you won't have to wax it, ever. So the basic colours are Corinthian white, raven black, platinum gunpowder grey, Monte Carlo red, Moroccan ivory, royal burgundy, Springdale rose, Palm Springs rose, beechwood brown, sultana turquoise and aquamarine, Kingston blue, Acapulco blue, sky mist blue, diamond blue, Brer Cliff green, Meadowvale green and Adriatic green. So lovely choice of colours, and a reminder, even if you choose blue, you've got a few blues to choose from. So it then moves on to tell us about the convertible. So it says the convertible offers you a choice of the best in weatherproof soft tops, 2 in soil resistant satin grained white or blue vinyl, and 1 in fade resistant black rayon. Interiors are beautifully upholstered with 6 rich Morocco grain vinyl bolsters and 5 nylon cord fabric inserts, or 6 Morocco grain vinyl inserts in elegant button tufted design. Also available are 4 genuine leather bolsters and deep pleated inserts, all in colours to harmonise with exteriors. Hardtop headlining in white perforated vinyl. Carpets both in the front and in the rear are of deep loop rayon. When you see them, you'll agree we believe the colours, fabrics and trim of such subtle beauty and taste could only belong to the jewel of a car, the 1960 Thunderbird. So then starts talking about the engine, starting with the standard 300 horsepower Thunderbird 352 Special V8, 352 cubic inch. I'm not going to read it all, I don't think. I'll probably just pick key points out here. We've got a 4-barrel carburetor, dual exhaust, aluminized mufflers, features precision fuel injection for superior performance and economy. And then if I move the camera down, I'm just going to do it manually if you don't mind. We've got the optional model, the 350 horsepower Thunderbird 430 Special V8. Like it says, the optional version, 430 cubic inch displacement. So, which engine would you go for? The big or the bigger? I guess either way, this is the 60s and I guess fuel isn't that expensive. Moving down, construction, welded integral body and frame for greater durability and quietness with high strength weight ratio. Suspension is swept back, angle poised ball joint front with coil springs and sports car stabilizer to control roll on turns. Even keel asymmetric rear leaf springs provide soft action variable rates with rubber bushed supports, rubber insulation at axle and tension type shackles for anti-dive and anti-squat control on braking and acceleration. Double acting shock absorbers front and rear. Brakes, double sealed, dual servo hydraulic drum brakes, which I'm sure would have needed quite a shove if he was driving the car hard. Transmission is a 3-speed conventional drive or optional overdrive with automatic 4th gear with the 352 Special V8, or cruise-o-matic drive with 2 selective drive ranges with the 352 Special V8 or 430 Special V8. Drive deep offset high-powered rear axle with straddle mounted pinion gear. Hotchkiss drive tells you about the axle ratios on there as well, etc. Moving down to the steering is a smooth free rolling recirculating ball type gear. Remember, this is only the early 60s, of course. Turning diameter 40 feet. Tyres, we get 4-ply black tubeless of Tyrex Super Cord. Looks like we get white wool tyres as an option though. Tells you about the dimensions there, and then the standard equipment. Lifeguard padded instrument panel, cushioned sun visors, double grip door locks, safety swivel day-night type inside rear view mirror, and deep centre steering wheel with horn ring. Manually adjustable individual front seats, electric clock, automatic dome light in hardtop and courtesy light in convertible, cigarette lighter, coat hooks, front fender ornaments, dual horns, turn signal, vacuum booster pump for more constant windshield wiper action. And it starts talking about the prices. Some items illustrated or referred to are at extra cost. For the price of the Thunderbird with the equipment you desire, see the Ford dealership. And then the usual brochure garb, we can change things at any time. Like we saw the date there, 8:59. At the bottom there we've got the Ford division on that lovely Ford script. I must show you to one side if you just don't mind me moving the camera over. Somebody has scribbled something in there, look. Looks like 2499 and then 175, giving a total of 2674. Was somebody working out the price in 1960? If it is, that seems like a huge wedge of money, but you tell me how much these were. in 1960. I have no idea or concept of these American cars price-wise, but there we go. That brings us to the end of the brochure. So there you go, the rather wonderful Ford Thunderbird. And certainly if you was a kid in the 60s and you looked at this brochure or even looked at the cars on the road, I'm sure you was quite astounded of the sort of space agey look of these cars. They are quite a striking vehicle, that's for sure. I don't have any knowledge of these. I'm trying to think if I've ever actually seen one in real life. Maybe in a museum. That's about as far as it goes. But your memories, if you are in North America and you remember these growing up, please do comment in the comment section. Always very interesting to hear real world experiences. But thank you for watching today. We'll end as we always do by saying, if you've not done it already, please do consider subscribing. It is all completely free, helps grow the channel, and more importantly, keeps you in touch with the channel. Click that little bell button, will always tell you when new episodes are about to come out. You can always become a member as well. Have a look at the Quarterlight homepage on YouTube for that. But thank you so much for watching today. I'll pop a couple more little boxes up for other brochure episodes we've done, although you can again go to the YouTube homepage and have a look at a few more videos if you've got time. But thank you so much for watching today. Please do take care. We'll see you very soon. All the best and goodbye.